Hello and welcome back to another Neceros Nation. Now, it's been a while, and I just want to preface this episode with it might be a little longer than normal, as there is a lot to show you, and a lot of things that I really wanted to do. But it's gonna start raining. But I'll just keep going, and I'll see when I think it's a good point to stop, and then I'll probably just check the recording length, and we'll go from there. So there's been quite a bit going on since I last saw you guys. The first of which I want to mention is that I did get a new mod for the server that is the Reyes Minimap mod, and for those who don't know what the mod is, it is a mod that allows you to have a minimap that you can blow up big like this by pressing X, and you can see all the area around you. You can also set waypoints, which is what you see over there. So I got this NPC village over here and various oil deposits, and then I got my home over there. Now, it's not something that I'm going to be using very often, so you probably won't see it on screen often. But it's something that if I'm traveling from one place to another, I'll probably have it up. That way I don't get lost, as there's no real teleports other than teleporting to spawn or teleporting home. So this kind of makes things a little easier for me, so I can know where I'm going, which also helps me with this next little project that I'm doing right here that's in this box. And you see we have an NPC village marked here, and we are heading towards our home. These rail carts. We have ourselves a little buddy. Hey, buddy. I think I'm going to call him Huebert. Don't know why, but Huebert sounds perfect. So that's what we're doing. We are transporting this NPC from that NPC village all the way over to our house. And in total, it's about a 2,200 meter travel, and I've gone about 1,000 meters so far, and it's taken quite a while. I've had a lot of tragedy on this trip because the initial launch from the NPC village, I had 4 NPCs in a cart, or in carts, and I sent them off along the trail, the minecart track, and when I got towards where they were supposed to be, there was only 2 and 2 empty carts. So I lost 2 NPCs there, and then I had 2 left. And on my travels through, I ended up going through a mountain, and I think one of them suffocated in a wall while I was lagging. And so I lost another one there. And so Huebert here is the only one left of his kind that I captured from the NPC village. Now, I believe there's one more NPC in that village, so at some point we're going to have to go back and get him, which is something I'll do off camera, as this trek is a long trip, and it feels like the day cycle is super short, so I end up stopping at night, just so the NPC is the safest possible, because there's a lot of things that want to eat his face, and I don't want that to happen. So this is what I'm going to be working on, is transporting Huebert here into a temporary home at our base. And then once we get another NPC, it'll make things a bit easier as we can start kind of gaining some NPCs. And this will help for when the server finally updates to 1.3, when all the mods are updated to be compatible with 1.3, and then that will give me some NPC trading. And so I'm going to continue bringing Huebert here over towards our base, and I will catch you guys back over the base with myself and Huebert. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, we made it to our last hurrah. It took many hours to traverse the whole 2,200 blocks, but we've Finally made it. And now we make our final push as our NPC takes his trip into his new home. And hopefully there's no issues. A chicken. And he made it. So we will patch up the holes that we made, remove this rail, and then I'll show you this room real quick. Even though you probably just got a sneak peek of it, I'll show you the room and let you know what I have in store for it. Be right back. All right, so we cleaned up our base a little bit, removed all the tracks, fixed the ceilings that we ended up breaking through, and now we will release Huebert into his new home. Welcome to your new home, Huebert. This is where you'll be staying for now. At some point, I'd like to make a nice house for you. Maybe a branching house off the side of the walls. When I find one of your friends, you'll have company. But until now, you'll have to share the company of these sheeps and these chickens. So I hope you don't mind. Is that fine? You think is that okay? Alright, I'm not sure if he's angry at me or he's content. He seems to be trying to get familiar with his new surrounding. I think he's a little bit lost. But so this is the progress I've been making since last episode, which is quite a lot given how much space this area is in general, and then how much resources required to do all this. So I took the pattern that I showed you last time, and I surrounded the whole outside, and then I did the multi-layered steps, and overall it looks a lot nicer than I expected. The only flaw that there is that this is in multiple biomes, so the grass is different colors, give it the different biomes. So like right here we're in a river biome, and we step over here into a swampland, and then we step over here into a taiga. So we got quite a variety of green color in this whole area, and swampland again. So it's an interesting color. It looks pretty good overall. What I'm thinking is we're gonna go with a leaf ceiling with jack-o'-lantern lighting, which is why we have this pumpkin farm right here, is that we're using them to harvest pumpkins to make jack-o'-lanterns. And we already did one ring of lighting. We're gonna do at least one more, and they are in pattern with the stairs that are around the whole outside area. So these little stone brick half slabs are where the lighting, it's too late. These jack-o'-lanterns are, and then we're going to do the same with these steps right here. So right here, this will be up one higher than the previous area right here, and we'll do jack-o'-lantern lighting all the way around that. And then for everything else, it's pretty much going to be normal wood planks, which is what's under these leaves, and then leaves. So overall, it's going to give it a good variety of color. We'll have some green, we'll have some dark brown and light like a dark brown and a light whitish color. We'll have this gray color. So overall, I think it's going to look really nice. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of sheep here. We have a lot of chickens here. Ultimately, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but ultimately, the plan for this area is to be some type of farm. So I think I'm going to let the sheep roam freely around the whole area in general, and then we'll have just various dyes throughout all of them. I'm probably going to wait a bit more and then start dyeing the sheep, and I'll just leave them white for now. But we're going to have a whole ton of sheep that are just walking around with various colors. We'll probably have chickens wandering around. In addition, we're going to set up 2 main structures here. I'm thinking of either doing them in the middle area, that'll take up quite a bit of space, or it's going to be embedded into the wall. But what it is there's going to be 2 on opposite sides. So if we do it in the wall here, the other one's going to be in the wall over there. If we do it in the middle here, it's going to be the middle section right here, and then the middle section right here. And what they are ultimately going to be is breeding cells for cows and pigs. So we'll have like cows on one side and we'll have pigs on the other, and we're going to use it, as I said, for breeding cells. That way we can have a food farm for cows and pigs. Because as nice as the other foods are, if we can have some like steak and like pork chops, it's probably gonna be a lot more beneficial to us, and it's probably gonna be a lot easier than I don't know, it's hard to say. These foods that we make off of those require a lot more resources than just say 1 cow or 1 pig. So we'll see. I'm going to at least if anything, that's what the half slab is for. At least if anything, it's going to make this area pretty cool, and it'll give us another redstone project to work on. Because ultimately, redstone is I think, one of the funnest parts of Minecraft, along with, the survival and construction and stuff. But I enjoy redstone work a lot, so the more redstone projects I can make, the funner. I should turn that off. The funner it's going to be for me. Another thing we want to do is we want to start playing a little more with some of the mods on the server, because right now the extent of what we're really using on the server for mods is we're using this quern a little bit. We're using the gold chest and the diamond chest. Gold chest and diamond chest for storage, but other than that, we're not really taking advantage of any of the other mods, and we could be taking advantage of Redpower 2, which gives us a lot of redstone stuff, which is what I think ultimately I'm gonna start doing from now on. Is I'm gonna attempt to get a little bit more of redstone, or not redstone, a little bit more of the mod stuff into each episode, and it'll give us some more goals to work on other than just big projects like this. So I'm gonna go gather some resources, and then I think we're gonna do a little bit of testing on some of the Redpower 2 stuff, which we can make some redstone wiring and stuff, which that's really like what we want to test for now. So I will be back in a second after I gather some initial resources, and then I'll explain some of the components that we have, and then we'll do a little bit of testing. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we're up in our storage room while some stuff cooks up, and I just wanted to show off the ceiling. I added a ceiling to this room, and I was able to finally connect the chains that are holding up our chest to something. I also put a piece of glowstone in the ceiling above the chains to give this room a little bit more lighting. I also added this ladder to go up to the next floor, which we have white wool on the floor right now. The plan is that we're going to put a potion bottle centered in, or at least as close to centered as possible in this room, and we're going to use this room for a miniature potion room. Now, it's not going to be the kind of full potion room that I would want with a lot of fancy stuff in it, but I think it'll do. I don't think we're really going to need a lot of fancy things in our potion room here. Though I know if I do make another base, it's going to be a probably underground cave-ish base. That way I have a lot more flexibility with room, because unfortunately with a tower you only have so much room because of how wide or how the radius or diameter of the tower. So that's the plan with that. So we finally have a use for this red alloy furnace that we made quite a while ago. We made it not really knowing what it was used for, and I finally found out what it was used for. So with the alloy furnace, we are able to cook up red alloy ingots, which are cooked from 4 pieces of redstone and 1 either iron ingot or copper ingot, and it cooks up this red alloy ingot. So if we take that to our workbench, we can place it such as this, and it will create 12 red alloy wires. So let's make a few alloy wires. Do 60 for now. Additionally, other than alloyed wires, we can construct what's called insulated alloy wires. So this is a white insulated wire. Now, you can create other colors of wire by using different colored wools. So as you see, we have white insulated wire here. If we were to use this light gray wool, we would create this light gray insulated wire. Now, why does this matter using different wools? Well, it matters when it comes to this next thing I want to show you, which is the bundled cable. Now, what the bundled cable is pretty much typically when you have redstone. I don't have any redstone on me. Let me go like this. Typically, when you have redstone wire, you're not able to have multiple wires connecting to each other because redstone wire or redstone dust will connect to any immediately adjacent block of redstone, which can cause problems. But with the bundled cable, it allows us to have multiple currents of wire in one centralized location. And with that, actually, before I do that, let me show off this right here. This is that red alloy wire. This acts exactly like redstone, with the exception of, I believe, is that, yeah, you can place it on walls, which you can't do with the redstone. You have to make either a spiral staircase or make a torch tower, which can be quite inefficient as it adds delay to stuff, but it's kind of the limitations you have with the redstone. But with redstone alloy wire, you can place it on walls, allowing us to save a lot of space and a lot of headache of trying to wire a tight area given multiple wires next to each other. Now, it does act in a similar way to redstone, where if you place it next to each other, next to itself, it will connect to it. But if we were to use, say, this insulated wire, it'll still connect, but we can also connect this insulated wire to this bundled cable. And now, let me see. And we got that, and we'll throw a gray on here. So, with this bundled cable, what it allows us to do is send multiple currents of power into this bundled cable, and this bundled cable will pass it to all wires of the same color. So by sending power into this light gray one, it will send it into this bundled cable, and since there are no other connecting light gray insulated wires, it won't pass any power on. But for example, if I passed power in through this, it'll pass power out of here, but not here, as you can see, which is pretty cool. That means it would allow us to create a lot more space efficient areas with redstone more so than we were normally allowed to be with typical redstone. So I'm gonna finish cooking this up. I'll make a few more insulated wires, and then we are gonna head down to our hidden wall door, and I think we're gonna try to change some of the wiring in that to use these new Redpower 2 wires. Now, one thing that I have to say about it, for what I understand, is that if you send power to... I think that's just a visual bug. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. If you send power to this, from what I understand, it will pass power onto adjacent blocks, which I don't have another torch. Okay, it won't do it there. Above? Nope. Maybe it's just blocks that it's on. Oh, I think the server's saving. Might be a little bit of lag from that. Oh, well, yeah, there we go. I love server saves. Okay, so we got, let's see, dirt, wire. Torch. Alright, so yeah. So from what I understand, it acts in a kind of similar way to a redstone, where that it will power blocks that are under it. Actually, I don't know if redstone will do the same, but it'll power blocks that are under it. It'll also power blocks that it's going into. So that's gonna be no. Okay, it's not quite the same as redstone. Typically, redstone would go into that block, such as this, and deactivate that torch. Alright, so that's one good thing to note, is that it does act in a similar fashion to redstone, where it will turn off that torch. So like I said, if we... Give me that. Come on, server lag. Don't do this to me. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, it acts in a somewhat similar way to redstone, where it will power the block that it's on. Well, I wouldn't say it necessarily power the block that it's on. It'll send power to that torch. I'll go with that for now. That's the easiest way to explain it. It'll also send power into the block that it's connected to. So with that, as I said, I'm going to finish cooking up this redstone alloy, and I'm going to head on down to the secret door, and we'll get working on some redstone wiring. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, so before I get into the hidden piston door in general, I'd like to do a few tests with this red alloy wire, and see how it compares to redstone. So the first test I want to experiment with is the distance that it can transport power. So in general, redstone can transport power for 15 blocks. So let's see how far this can transport power for. So let's see, we'll give redstone. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, so I think in general, it can transport power in infinite duration, which actually makes it really good in comparison to typical redstone, because that means we might not necessarily have to use repeaters in things, which in turn reduces delay that we have for how quickly stuff works. So that's pretty awesome. So I think that was the big thing I wanted to test. Now let's see if it actually whereas it actually interacts with repeaters. Okay, so that's good to know. You can send power to a repeater from the red alloy wire to a repeater and then into another wire. So should acts as expected with that. Alright, so that's really good. That's really nice. So I think that's gonna give us, I think those couple little experiences will give us the information we need to know for when wiring this right here. So we're not necessarily gonna need as many repeaters and wires, and I think that should be pretty good. So first things first, we will start stripping some of these wires out, and we will replace it with red alloy wire. Now the question is, does it work going up? The easiest way to find out is okay, so that might be a problem. Is that, oh, okay, never mind. We can do this. Now that's kind of shitty in comparison to redstone because it requires two pieces in order to go up. But I guess we do get the benefit of being able to go up walls with it. Okay, so let's first test this out just to make sure this works as expected. Okay, that didn't work. Let's see what didn't work. Okay, so the repeater is there on that side. Okay, it changed size. The piston is not retracting though. Okay, what's not working? So this power is getting sent down. Wait. Sorry, this power is getting sent to there, which should power those pistons. So if we send power there. Okay, so I think there might be some type of power issue where power is getting sent to something. Maybe. Okay, that piston's out. Maybe there's a delay issue at that point. Oh wait. Let's get sent to there. To be honest, I don't know. There might be a delay issue at that point. If these are getting a 1 tick delay, that would mean that they push out and pull back in really quickly, which they shouldn't be getting a 1 tick delay. They might be sending power down. That's another alternative option I can think of. No? I have no idea. I'm going to look into this off camera a little bit because I have a feeling it's going to take a little bit to figure out what's going on. But I will be back in a second to give you a progress update. Alright, I think I figured out the issue, and it's with these two red wires right here. So what I think is happening is that they're getting power and then somehow sending power down to lower blocks and messing up stuff. So like, for example, if we replace these two with the coated wires, once we activate it, it should work as normal. Which I think is a little weird, but it's now working, so I can't be too upset about that. So we're gonna have to fix our stuff a little bit. And I don't know these last 2 blocks go. I'll have to look at it. And gained blocks out of it overall. But, so that's... Oh, I think that's good for that kind of wiring right there. We will now try to shift some of this wiring to that. And that should put us at the same place we were before, where if we press it and open it, you can press it and close it. Okay. Now we're having a slight issue with that. Okay, those two are getting power inappropriately, which is most likely due to this right here sending power down. So, if we get rid of those two, we send this, and we put insulated wire. Insulated wire won't do it though. Let's test it. I don't think it's gonna work properly. Let's fix these real quick first. Put these here. Put those back in here. Give me some pork chops. Now I'm fairly confident that this is not going to work correctly, but you know, I'm not a Redpower 2 expert, so I can't say for sure. Okay, maybe it did work. Oh, of course I fell. I gotta fix holes. There should be too many holes. Huh. Interesting. So this coated wire, insulated wire, is powering stuff correctly. I'm a little confused. But it works, so that's ultimately the best thing. So after that, we can keep triggering the sound and send these down here. That, and that. Okay, so we got that good. Now we want to replace these with Redpower 2 wires. Now there's no real reason that we need to replace these wires. No real reason why we need to replace these wires, other than, I guess, making it look consistent with the rest of our stuff. So, since we're using Redpower wiring with the rest of the stuff, might as well use it with everything. Now, I'm pretty sure there's an inverter Redpower device. That's another thing I need to look into, is Redpower devices in general, because there's quite a few Redpower devices. All the logic gates you can do with Redpower 2, which you can do it in a 1 block space instead of a various blocking space. Because you see, like this T flip-flop requires a good six blocks space, which we could use. We could do it a better way. And with 1 block of space that's needed, it makes things a bit easier. So let's get that. And then with that, we can go like this. Oh, wire. There we go. Oh, get rid of this 1 block. I have to say, one nice thing about Redpower 2, or these wires on Redpower 2, is that you can connect them to faces of block. So I could run a piston wall and run them up on top of the wall instead of having to run outer circuitry in order to get it working correctly, which is pretty cool. So we'll just continue connecting all these wires. We'll get rid of that, knock out that, then throw ourselves on like that. And I think that should technically do it for the door. Opens. Let's go from the outside just to make sure it closes properly. Okay, so it's not extending, which is what I expected would probably happen. So let's press that. Let's go investigate up here, which, oh, not over here, up here. This is where I'm fairly sure the issue is. Yeah. So we need it to power this, but it's not going to. Because if we do it, it's going to power these ones too, I think. Alright, let's double check our pistons. Yeah, it's just what I thought. Maybe the outer upper ones are going to get messed up. So I think with right here, we're probably just going to have to stick with regular redstone. Which I'm pretty sure. Ooh, breaking shit. Because these are normal repeaters, we should be able to just run regular redstone off that. Let's grab our redstone and fix our issue with that. Replace our planks. And go test out our fix. So we got open. We will fix our walls that are all kinds of broken. And then we will give it a go again. So that should close it. Oh. Okay, so that one's, this upper left one's broken still. It's a different delay. So that's pushing. That's probably getting power from this right here. Yeah. Okay, it looks like it connects up like that, which if that's the case, we're also gonna have to connect it like. That didn't work. So what we got here? We have a 4 delay here. What's the delay over there? Because it might be just a delay issue. No, we have a 4-tick delay. Alright, let's go. Let's give this a shot. We'll give it a whirl. It's not going to connect like that. So this part right here, we might just have to use a little bit of redstone to get around this issue. Alright, let's give that a whirl. Retract it. Okay, that's gonna be broken. Let's see, why is this broken? We'll just replace this the old-fashioned way. So we'll put our block here. We'll put our piston back in here. And let's give it a shot now. Okay, so something's still getting messed up with that side over there. What is the problem? That should power all of that. This is getting pushed earlier than it should. Okay, I'm gonna look into this again, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so we managed to fix our piston door. We ended up just replacing all the red alloy wire with our redstone dust. And I'm probably gonna look into it a little bit more between episodes to figure out how the exact properties of the redstone or red alloy what the hell it's called, red alloy wire, and see if I can figure out a little bit more. That way I can kind of plan my builds around it a little bit. But I'm gonna end it for now. I think it's not as long as I wanted it to be, because I had some more things I wanted to show you guys, but I am getting fairly tired, so I figured I will call it for now so I can edit the video and head to bed as soon as possible. But I have some more that I will go over next time. But in the meantime, if you have anything you would like to see, or have any comments or suggestions, feel free to leave them, as I always read my comments and suggestions. And I think that's it. Yeah. I will catch you guys next time.